Hey there, money mavens and curious minds. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're tackling a question that straddles the line between ambition and excess. How much money is too much money? Is there a limit to financial success, or is the sky the limit? We'll be exploring this intriguing topic from various angles, diving into societal norms, psychological impacts, and personal perspectives. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer perspective. First things first, let's break down the idea of too much money. Is it a fixed number like $1 billion? Or does it vary based on individual perspectives, like a millionaire considering a billionaire to have too much money? The concept of too much is subjective and can be influenced by numerous factors such as personal values, societal norms, and economic conditions. Often, society's view of excessive wealth is intertwined with the disparities in wealth distribution. The wealth gap, which is the difference between the richest and poorest in society, has been a topic of discussion for decades. It's a gap that seems to be widening with each passing year. On one side of the spectrum, we have individuals with more money than they could ever spend in multiple lifetimes. On the other end, we have people who are struggling to make ends meet. This stark contrast can lead to a perception that those at the top have too much money. Let's delve into some mind-boggling statistics. According to a report by Oxfam, the world's richest 1% possess more wealth than the remaining 99% combined. That's a staggering disparity, and it paints a picture of how concentrated wealth can be. Additionally, it's worth noting that in many parts of the world, individuals with an income of just $30,000 a year are considered to be in the top 1% of global wealth. This further illustrates the disparities in wealth distribution and how relative the concept of too much money can be. Now let's consider the controversial concept of billionaires. Some argue that the existence of billionaires is a sign of economic success. Others, however, view it as a symptom of economic inequality. This debate encapsulates the complexity of defining too much money. In conclusion, the societal concept of too much money is largely influenced by economic disparities. The wealth gap, staggering statistics, and the relative nature of wealth all play a part in shaping this perception. This influences perceptions of excess. But hold on, is there a psychological toll attached to amassing enormous wealth? This question invites us on a journey into the human mind, where we'll explore the emotional and psychological impacts of possessing excessive wealth. Let's start with the stress tied to managing vast fortunes. It may seem counterintuitive, but studies show that the more money you have, the more financial anxiety you may experience. This anxiety can manifest in various ways, such as fear of losing wealth or paranoia about being taken advantage of. It's a constant balancing act, a high-stakes game of keeping financial assets secure and growing. Next, let's discuss the paradox of choice. Having an abundance of money often means unlimited options, from where to invest to what luxury item to buy next. But as psychologist Barry Schwartz points out in his book, The Paradox of Choice, too many options can lead to anxiety and dissatisfaction. It's the paradox of wealth, having everything yet feeling overwhelmed and dissatisfied. Another aspect to consider is the potential for isolation. When you're incredibly wealthy, it can become challenging to relate to the everyday experiences of average folks. This disconnect can lead to a sense of loneliness and alienation, a psychological price that can be just as taxing as any financial cost. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's also the opportunity for personal growth and the development of resilience. Some studies suggest that those who have experienced the pressures and responsibilities of great wealth often develop a robust set of coping mechanisms. They learn to navigate the complexities of their situation, transforming challenges into opportunities for personal development. Lastly, let's touch on the issue of identity. With significant wealth often comes the question of self-worth. Are individuals loved for who they are, or for their financial status? This question can lead to a profound identity crisis, pushing individuals to question their value outside of their wealth. This section unearths the human side of the too much money conundrum. In the grand scheme of things, money is just a tool, a resource to be managed. The psychological impacts of wealth, however, remind us that human beings are far more complex, wrestling with emotions and grappling with questions of identity, worth, and satisfaction. The psychological toll of wealth is a fascinating topic, one that underscores the perpetual human quest for balance and fulfillment. It's time for some introspection. How can we redefine our relationship with money? This question takes us down a path to understanding wealth not as an end, but as a means, a tool, that can be used to shape the world around us. Let's start by acknowledging that money in itself is neutral. It's a resource like any other that can be used for good or for ill, depending on how we choose to wield it. The key lies in our perspective and approach. Often we find ourselves caught in a cycle of accumulation, where the pursuit of wealth becomes an end in itself. This can lead to a skewed perception of success, where one's worth is equated with one's bank account. But is that all there is to wealth? Or can we redefine this narrative? Consider the concept of conscious consumption. This isn't about cutting back to the bare minimum or shunning material possessions. Rather, it's about making mindful decisions that align with our values. Whether it's supporting small businesses, investing in sustainable goods, or simply not buying what we don't need. It's about recognizing that every dollar spent is a vote cast for the kind of world we want to live in. Then there's philanthropy. Philanthropy isn't just about donating money. It's about leveraging one's resources, influence, and time to make a difference. It's about seeing wealth as a tool to affect positive change in our communities and beyond. And this brings us to a crucial point, using wealth for positive change. Wealth doesn't have to be a solitary pursuit. It can be a collective journey towards improving lives, making a difference, and leaving the world a little better than we found it. It's about understanding that wealth carries with it a responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to the world at large. Take, for instance, the story of a self-made millionaire who, after reaching the pinnacle of financial success, found his greatest satisfaction in using his wealth to fund education for underprivileged children. Or the entrepreneur who invests a part of her profits into environmental initiatives, understanding that the health of her business is intrinsically linked to the health of the planet. These are examples of individuals who have redefined their relationship with wealth. They've moved beyond the paradigm of accumulation and stepped into a space of purpose and impact. They understand that wealth isn't just about what it can get you, it's also about what it can do, who it can help, and the change it can bring about. Fostering a sense of purpose and impact. This is the essence of redefining our relationship with wealth. It's not about having less, but about doing more, with consciousness, with empathy, and with a vision that extends beyond our individual selves. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't just about the money in our bank accounts. It's about the richness of our lives, our communities, and our world. And there you have it, folks. We've navigated the winding roads of wealth, peering into the corners of societal perceptions, personal values, and the impact of wealth on our lives. We've discovered that the question, how much money is too much money, isn't as simple as it may seem. It's less about a number and more about a state of mind. We've learned that the concept of too much money is a societal construct, shaped by disparities in wealth distribution. We've seen that accumulating vast fortunes can come with emotional and psychological challenges, often hidden behind glitzy facades. We've also explored how we can redefine our relationship with wealth. Instead of viewing money as an end in itself, we can use it as a tool for positive change. By focusing on conscious consumption and philanthropy, we can foster a sense of purpose and impact. So the next time you ponder over the question, remember that the answer lies in finding a balance between financial success and emotional well-being, between ambition and excess, between having wealth and being wealthy. Remember, money is a means, not an end. It's a tool, not a goal. And with that perspective, you can navigate the financial seas with both success and fulfillment. Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and keep exploring.